How do you craft a moment? Like a real, true moment with your music? All this and more on today's episode of the Mixdown.
Ping pong pong, ping pong pong, pong ka pa ping pong king kong ka, hang ka king kong kang kong king kang, hang ka king kong kang kong king kang.
Welcome back to the Mixdown. My name is Dan Purcell. Today I want to do something a little bit different and cover only one artist and see how they've honed their craft as a performer and an artist in a new segment that I'd like to call Profiles in Artistry. For the first Profiles in Artistry, I want to focus on a character who's built himself up to be quite the online personality, all with a computer and a looping station, and how he crafts true musical moments that will blow you away. Now, as I've mentioned before on this show, it's no secret that advancements in music technology have helped artists innovate and augment the ways in which they record and perform to audiences around the world. One of the more popular implementations of music technology in live performance is the art of looping, in where you're sampling and replaying either a vocal performance or an instrumental performance over and over and over again. With the tapping of a few buttons, a live looper can help you layer and build different musical scenes and moods all on your own during a live performance. Because of live looping, a lot of cool and unique artists have emerged, utilizing the live looping station as one of their primary modes of live performance. On a smaller scale, you have artists like Mr. Tim and Julia Easterlin, whom I had the incredible honor of sitting in with at a workshop at the Vocal Company, where we were all hooked up via headphones to her looping station, and we got to see how she built her music in real time. I highly recommend checking out all of Julia Easterlin's work, both as Julia Easterlin as well as her Height project. That's spelled H-I-T-E, Height. Moving up the ladder, you have your Kimbras and your Reggie Wattses, who utilize the live looper, but also integrate other instruments in addition to the live looper. I remember frequently watching the video that Kimbra had of her live looping settled down from like way back in 2012. It was one of the first times that I had seen a live looper in action, and I'll never forget how mesmerized I was by the fact that Kimbra was just building this arrangement almost out of seemingly thin air with just her vocals and like a keyboard and beat pad. Perhaps one of the most well-known live loopers is Ed Sheeran, who uses a live looping station in his one-man stadium tours around the world. The live looping station is a nod back to Ed Sheeran's time as a busker on the streets of England, and also kind of highlights the DIY nature of Ed Sheeran as a songwriter, which is interesting because he's not the only songwriter on some of his work. That's another topic to discuss for another time. But an artist who has been recently on the rise, putting on incredible live looping performances, is the musician and improv performer Marc Rebillet.
Like there's just no possible way I could come up with another idea.
I'll let Marc explain a little bit of his origin story.
I've been playing piano since I was four or five. 10 years ago, I decided to drop out of college. I was going there for acting and try to make music.
Dude, I've worked many corporate jobs. I lost my most recent job like a little over a year ago, and that sort of got me in this mindset of like, okay, I could either go out and get another job just like this, or I could try and like book a gig.
When I moved back to Dallas, I was living in New York, moved back to Dallas, got this loop station, was playing around with it, realized that it was like sort of unlocking the playground of my musical fantasy. Yeah, I loved the way it looked and sounded, so I just kept doing it.
Booked a gig, booked another gig, and then it snowballed, and yeah, I haven't had to look for work since.
Marc utilizes live looping in such a unique and distinct way, such that all of the videos that he posts of him doing his live looping performances generates thousands upon thousands of views on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That was actually how I first found out about Marc. Somebody shared a video of his on Facebook that had gone viral, and I was immediately captivated by how compelling of a live looper and a performer he was. And if you go through his library of videos, that's how he is the entire time. So much so that there's almost like an intentional or unintentional science behind the ways in which he crafts these videos that allows them to go completely viral.
Reggie Watts first and foremost.
Okay.
If there's music and comedy, it's almost guaranteed that there's not going to be a lot of effort put into the music. Reggie was, I feel like, the first dude to say like, yo, the music needs to be really dope too.
I think think a good portion of people post videos online in an effort to try and go viral. More viral in the sense that they're trying to find some sense of community and belonging with everybody through some sort of commonality. I've noticed that the videos that tend to go viral online are also videos that really don't mean to go viral online. I say that because they're always sort of like these funny, quirky little moments that highlight some of the wonderful absurdities of life that we can all experience together. Whether you are bequeathing your friend with an incredible sword that looks like it came out of the video game World of Warcraft,
Is that a sword?
or a pet or an animal being incredibly cute, or a little boy donning a cowboy uniform, walking into the middle of a Walmart and just starting to yodel. I think we all find some sense of commonality and community in oddities and absurdities because they're wonderful. It just compels people to want to share it and like it and comment on it and say, look at this, this is incredible. This is the exact space that Marc Rebillet operates in. Marc is a master of musical improvisation and freestyling, which I think kind of lend really well to the whole feeling of uncertainty, capturing this live in the moment as you watch this video unfold kind of feeling that you get when you watch him. He fluidly switches between building rhythms and pads for a song to suddenly just lyrics and melodies all over the place. You are wondering how he is thinking that fast in the moment. It's wild.
Baby, we're in the ears, now we're in it, now we're chilling on it. Yo, I'm getting up, baby, and I'm tired now. Maybe go back to sleep, yo, it's the weekend, yo, I'm trying to go to sleep.
Blackbeard's here, Blackbeard's here, Blackbeard's here, Blackbeard's here, Blackbeard's here, Blackbeard's here. Everybody look out, Blackbeard's here.
On top of that, you can feel the fun and the love that Marc brings to every live looping performance. You can see him nodding his head, shaking his hips, and sort of running around like a mad scientist, building this sonic Frankenstein for us to listen to in real time. It's the speed at which Marc operates, as well as the fun that he's having as a performer, that makes him an incredibly compelling person to watch. And I think it's those moments that thrill us as an audience and make us want to click the share button and say, hey, you gotta watch this. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Mixdown. I know it's a little bit different from some of the other pieces that I did, but I'm so excited about Marc Rebillet and the kind of space that he operates in. If you liked this episode, feel free to leave a comment below. If you didn't like the format of this episode, also feel free to leave a comment below. I would love to hear why you didn't like the episode, but I hope you did. Also, if tweeting is your thing or Instagram DMs is your thing, feel free to reach out to me there. I am at the D Purcell, and I'd love to talk with you about some of these topics. Thank you so much again for watching this episode of The Mixdown, and until the next episode, I will see you guys very soon.